My Lords, I apologise that your Lordship's House has already heard rather a lot from me today, given I had the previous private member's bill, but I did want to make one particular point here, which is why I put my name down on this list. And I begin by very much thanking the Right Reverend Prelate, the Bishop of Manchester, both for bringing forward this both very humane, constructive and very practical bill that I have no doubt at all would actually end up saving the government money. Not that I think should be the main point, but it's worth highlighting, and also for introducing it so clearly. The chief comparative point I wanted to make, that we have seen and have continuing in Wales, a trial of something much more radical, much larger than this, which is a trial of universal basic income for care leavers, which has seen a total of 635 young people receive payments after tax of £1,280 a month for 2 years. Now, this is a trial which will continue until May 2025, and then unfortunately anyone leaving care after that point will not be eligible for this, but there will then be continuous careful study, academic study and reports on the impact of this trial. But I note that already the Minister for Social Justice in Wales has said there's been fantastic feedback from participants. And I was actually at a meeting where we heard some direct testimony from some of the care leavers who've actually benefited from this program. And one of the stories that will stick with me is of a couple of care leavers who chose to leave their minimum wage jobs to take up apprenticeships so that they could actually establish themselves in lives, establish a career, get training and education, which the current system did not allow them to do. It was only because they were specially able to access this trial that they could do that. And whilst the proposal before us wouldn't necessarily entirely achieve that aim, it kind of demonstrates the ways in which it could open up people's horizons and possibilities. And I think also worth pointing out some recent research globally which shown how universal basic income can substantially improve the mental health in young people generally, but obviously particularly in care leavers, and so potentially that would be enormous savings in costs for the NHS. There's a couple of other points that I just wanted to very briefly raise. I note a study from Become, the National Charity for Children in Care and Young Care Leavers, which found that more than 9% of care leavers aged 18 to 25 were statutorily assessed as being homeless or facing homelessness in the last year. That is 10 times the rate of non-care experienced children. That is a huge failure. You think about you've emerged from the experiences of care and then you find yourself statutorily homeless. What a difficult position that is. And again, the Right Reverend Prelate's bill wouldn't solve all of that, but would be a step towards it. One other point, a question the Noble Lady, the Minister, may wish to write on, but I note that Quorum Voice, after a Freedom of Information request to 153 local authorities in England, found that care leavers were receiving vastly different levels of support. There is supposed to be the setting up home allowance of £3,000, but some councils are only paying £1,500. Can the Noble Lady perhaps tell me what is happening to make sure that all care leavers are at least getting up that setting up allowance they obviously greatly need? And finally, mentioning my position as Vice President of the Local Government Association, I note a call from the LGA last year suggesting that care leavers should be exempt from council tax prescriptions, NHS dental treatment and optician costs to actually further help them, as the Right Reverend Prelate's bill does. I wonder if the Noble Lady, the Minister, could respond to